Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Giant Beastcast. Thanks for sticking with us here. My goodness gracious goodness. It is episode 307? 307?
Sure.
It is April 8th, Friday, April 9th, if you're listening to this on a Friday. Once upon a time, we did this show on a Friday. Pretty soon, I think, we're going to have released it live on Thursday, probably longer than we released it recorded on Friday. Somebody could do the math on that. It's been a long road.
I want to give a special shout out to the people out there who are holding fast, who are still refusing to listen to this show unless it appears on a Friday morning. You are the OGs.
That's right.
And we love you all.
That's right. That's right. You have it on your Zune. It updates on Friday. You put it. You put it on your Roxio Music MP3 player. Whatever you have there, and you go for a jog, or you do what you have
please,
to do.
it's a Diamond Rio. I burn them to a CD, and I listen to it on my Diamond Rio.
Wow, with the anti-shock, so you can run with it. Yeah, okay.
Remember all that shit where it's like, oh, my CD player won't play that brand.
Yes.
It'll only play this
CDs.
brand.
Yeah.
So weird.
That was bad. Alex Navarro.
Okay.
Alex Navarro. We'll get to you. Don't worry. Save these good bits for when I say your name.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alex
sorry.
Navarro.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah, I had to leave last time halfway through.
And vaxxed.
It was very important that I go and get my vaccination, and I did. And one, very happy that I did it. Very happy that it's done.
Okay.
I got the Johnson & Johnson, so it was the one shot. Two, boy, did I feel fucking awful the day after I got that. Oh,
means
my
your
God.
immune system's good, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, I think so. But that's what you told me, and I'm going with it.
That's what I heard on the radio, so I'm going with that. It means that your immune system recognized there's a little foreign entity in your body and was like,
Yeah.
Meh, meh, meh.
My parents were like, that shit was nothing. I'm like, yeah, because your immune system's a broken shell.
Because you're a desiccated skeleton.
your immune system just put their hands up and was like, all right.
Yeah, take what you want.
All right. Can you all right, pack it up. We're done. No, I don't know. I'm a little, I'm a little afraid for my wife when she gets it because her immune system, knock on wood, is usually pretty good. So we'll see if she gets knocked out.
It was 24 hours of pain and torment, and then after that, I was mostly fine and
like
totally worth it.
Torment? What do you? I mean, like.
So it was like a mild fever, which wasn't so bad, but the body aches, were maybe the worst I've ever had.
Really?
Yes,
Ever?
from
you.
the flu, from anything. Like it was.
Either you haven't had bad
brutal.
aches, or that was real bad.
It was real bad.
Oh,
and,
fuck.
But again, it was 24 hours. And then after that, I could almost time it because my girlfriend and I got the shot at the same time and we started feeling the symptoms at almost the exact same time. And then they all went away at almost the exact same time.
Oh, that's when the chip kicks in and turns off.
Yeah, I'm a 5G hotspot now. It's fucking awesome.
Jeff Backlund, how are you doing?
I just think it's so wild. It's wild that like on a unscientific survey sample, it's like I'm near 100% guaranteed shitty side effects.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like garbage for a day, but you know what? After that day, smooth.
I've also heard if you don't have side effects, don't worry about it. So who knows?
Yeah,
it doesn't mean the vaccine isn't working.
Your garbage immune system. They just put in a bunch of saline instead of the.
Like my parents barely had anything when they
your
got
parents
vaccinated.
are old.
Yeah, but they're in good health. They're take good care of themselves. Like my dad had a little bit of a fever, and like my mom's arm hurt for like 2 days, but that was kind of it.
I get the second one a week from tomorrow.
Good for you. Good for you.
I shouldn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you and what is it? It's like 2 or 3 weeks after your two, and then they say that you got the good stuff, the good antibodies.
Yeah, I mean, I had read a journal report that one of my doctor friends sent me the other day that said even first shot efficacy is pushing north of like 80%, which is pretty great to hear. So,
well, if you can
get that last 10%, let me just get that.
That's right.
Just
I hope people are getting appointments that are seeking them out. It still sounds
it seems like in some states, like right now, you can just get an appointment if you need to. Like we're maybe over that tipping point in some places at least.
Jersey just I think like the 15th or something. They're doing
The floodgates open.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like a 16 and older bit of
It's like,
business.
we're now opening eligibility up to walkers and joggers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you've ever walked,
if you meet those,
yeah.
if you meet those qualifications, you are now eligible. I'm
eligible, so I have mine scheduled for this weekend. I'm eligible because of the BMI requirements, and I don't think just to talk about BMI for a second, because it comes up when you're talking about the eligibility requirements.
Yeah.
That I understand it. Might work. I think we talked about this. We got some emails.
We did.
In.
I got a lot of tweets about BMI shaming.
BMI is it's kind of a dumb metric.
Well, not that it's dumb. It's just a very specific.
I think the thing that I read says somebody who wrote in said, "Good for a group, not great for an individual," and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense."
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. So yeah,
I like that. That makes sense.
I like that. Let's talk about the games. Yeah, you want to know? You want to keep going?
I feel like didn't you make me shut up about something, and now
Yes,
I can't remember.
I did. You were talking about your. Remember when you burned CDs and they didn't work on every CD player?
Well, that's not very exciting now to bring that up out of nowhere. So no, I will pass.
You know what you know what the modern one is? Like you need to have the right freaking SD card for a device. And
yeah, I'm
I
learning
haven't
that
used
the
an
hard
SD
way.
card on anything that wasn't my Switch in forever.
No, but like cameras now, dude, like new big time cameras, like they need that fast read write. There's different classes, there's different levels. It's a whole thing.
Well, that's good because I stole about 30 SD cards from work when we were cleaning it out. So if I ever buy a nice camera.
That's not the right word. You are entitled to those SD cards. I
don't know that I am because I wasn't even there when you ordered them.
I've accounted for those. They are.
All right.
Don't worry.
Well, they're now in a box in my storage locker.
You have worked those off for sweat equity by packing that studio up. The video game. So my kids are on spring break. Hooray for spring break, which means that my game time in the morning while they're usually in school is gone. Boo. As now they have laid claim to the TV and consoles. But I did manage to get in a little more Evil Genius 2.
That's on a PC. That's not on a console.
It's on a PC, and I've been playing it through the Steam Link. I do still enjoy the Steam Link in the den.
That's nice.
The den.
That's nice. Your group of one.
12 foot by 1 foot room I call the den. That game I enjoy. I have a quick look recorded with Brad. It's going to go up tomorrow morning. That game is good. It's a good game. It's flawed though. I'm gonna apologize right now. Here's a heads up, your listeners of the Beastcast. I forgot, and this was an error on my part, and it just goes to show. I think I usually get this right. Forgot to turn the music back on when I started the quick look, the in-game music, because I'd been listening to podcasts while playing that game because it's a good podcast game. So I apologize. The music is okay. I think it's actually good at first, and then kind of 20 plus hours in, you're like, okay, I get it.
Trails off a little.
I kind of turned it off after a while, but then I forgot to turn it on. I was like, man, this is silent. But I did turn it back on, so I apologize. Apologize to Rebellion for not having the music on. Anyway, that game is good. It's not great. I feel like it's so dragged. The career mode drags on in a way that's like, get me to more stuff sooner. I don't like the world map management stuff in it. You have your base building. They don't make a lot of these types of games anymore, like these base management games. And then you have this world map thing that you're trying to dominate, but it's just busy work. There's just cooldowns and clicks on stuff, and it's a resource sink. And I don't like that part at all. I don't know if other people have played it, I'd like to talk about it. I feel like a lot of people aren't playing it. Also, some of the balance in it seems off. I don't know what is up with Symmetry. She is this super agent. There are different super agents. Some are like, I smash walls, I sneak in. Symmetry appears in your vault with a bunch of rogues to attempt to steal your money, which is fine. But then her rogues are like the most powerful thing in the game. And they just wipe out my entire base every time, and it's very annoying. But you can build traps in it. The basis of the game is you are kind of, choose your Bond or Austin Powers, but you're this like Dr. Evil kind of S character. You get to choose in the sandbox mode which one you want to be, and you're building a layer, and your secret agents are coming in. You build traps, you do all this stuff. I like it. Some stuff I just wish they tweaked a little bit. Maybe they will. So you can. It's $40. There's a season pass for it that brings it up to $60. It's on Steam. I'd like to hear what other people are thinking about it. I've been on some Reddits reading, like, is it me? And I'm like, I don't think it's just me about some of this stuff. But for a genre that doesn't get a ton of games like this, I just wish it were a little better. I mean, it's satisfying. I just wish it were a little better. But, I don't know, what's like 40. It's hard to put in hours to enjoyments to price on a game. I think like if I've enjoyed like 20 hours of it, like I've gotten a pretty good value.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. I don't know. It's hard to always do that math. But that's the work game I've been playing.
Mm-hmm. What have you been playing for not work?
Yeah, what have I been playing for fun? What do I do when the kids go to bed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a good question.
Talk to me about Vinny After Dark.
Dishonored. What I want to go play is more Dishonored. So Dishonored is a game, I talked about it before, but it's a game I've bounced off of. And I know we get this email and I never have answers for this. This happens quite a bit where it's like, I don't have an answer. What's a game you bounced off of and then came back to and really enjoyed? Dishonored right now is that game for me. And I think what happened was I finally just gave in and was like, I need to use, I'm a hoarder when it comes to in-game items. Like, hey, these crossbow bolts or these limited use items, I will just hold on to. And at some point I was just like, I'm going to use them. I'm going to use these things. I'm going to use the tools they gave me. I'm going to burn through mana. I'm going to use all these mana potions. And I'm just really enjoying it. Have you guys
by actually using the things the game gives you, you suddenly discover the fun in the game.
Yeah. Like it's a hard habit to break, just holding on to that stuff and just kind of, but I realized at some point I'm passing by enough of these where it says, hey, you're maxed on this. That's like, okay, I need to use this.
I probably should be
more.
using these.
Yeah. And I hunted down a bunch of the relics that get you the upgrades that help in some of the traversal.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Yes. With the beating heart. Yeah.
The beating heart.
Yeah. Excited
Whale oil.
And that's right. Did you finish it?
I genuinely can't remember.
Okay.
Whale oil.
That's right. Whale oil. There is a thing that I'm not appreciating, which I guess they give you a different ending if you maybe murder your way through that game, and it kind of shows you at the end of a mission screen like, hey, you murdered a lot of people because I'm a goddamn assassin. That's what I'm here to do.
It's not called Honored.
You got like 7 abilities here at the bottom that say here's an easy way to kill people.
It's not called Honored.
It's not. You're a killing people person. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
So I'm like a lot of the powers seem like they are death oriented. So I want to use them. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to worry about. Hey, don't sweat it. Like it's not a big deal. Or you kind of, you get the bad. I don't know. But my plan is to play it. And
what are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on the Xbox. Remember all that stuff came to Game Pass, all that Bethesda stuff. So it's on Xbox. It's on Game Pass. Yeah. So it's there. My plan is to play it, and I want to play 2 and that DLC, which I heard so many good things about. So that's what Vinny's playing for funsies right now.
That's cool.
It is cool. Thank you.
It is cool to play games.
I'm starting to get a little annoyed with the incongruency between PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
And a part of me is maybe more upset at it than the average person, just because like sort of when the Ultimate Game Pass thing was starting, I was like, you don't need an Xbox, right? Because I mean, look, all the exclusives, all like those day one gotta play 'ems, presumably will hit PC. But I feel like there is a couple games here and there that are just not on Game Pass for PC. They're on Game
For
Pass
sure.
for Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
But not, and I just wish all that was synced up if they could be. You know, I realize if a game's
Right.
not built for PC, you can't just have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game Pass for PC, a bit of a letdown, and you know, I don't know. It's just not a letdown, but it's just I just wish there was more consistency.
Yeah.
Can I get some consistency with my multi-platform gamings?
Yeah, you're not
Right?
you're not wrong. It's,
Okay, good.
Finally,
You
you
know, I
found
need to
something
hear
to
that.
shit
I
on
need-
for Game Pass.
I need to, yeah, seriously, and I need to hear that I'm not wrong.
No,
I
you're
just
not-
need to hear that every now and then.
You're
So
not
thank
wrong.
you.
No, it's
Thank you.
Well, we have a question later, I think, about playing on PC versus consoles and all that stuff.
Great.
And that'll probably come back up around.
Wow,
there.
I've never been asked about that before.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, it's checking back in. We're gonna check. We're gonna check back in on it. What else? Oh, Alex, you and I played a little bit more of the Dark Side of the Moon, which was a lot of fun, and you could check out that quick look there.
That game takes a leap from where it starts to where we ended up in that quick look.
Yeah.
That is some real, like, that's not a small jump. Like, that's a chasm from, boy, my kids are missing.
Yeah.
What's going on, to where it ends up. That
Yeah.
is, boy, I respect it, but my God.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where it goes. I know some people want a Backlar. If you're wondering what happened to Backlar, he's taking his mic apart. He's doing a little mid-game repair here. I want to see where that goes.
Yeah, I want to see where that goes.
It's weird. I don't know if I want to do a full playthrough. It's a very narrative-heavy game.
Mhm.
I felt a little weird when we did the Contradiction one. I know a lot of people bought Contradiction, but then, you know, I don't know. I like to support. FMV is very near and dear to my heart. I would like to make sure that people have the money to make those silly games.
Vinny, it's been 6 years since we last really brought the Rupert booth to the site.
I
And I
know.
feel like maybe that's been long enough. Maybe it's time.
I know. I don't know. It's only a $14 game. But I also don't think it's very long. I think we might
I
have
bet that
already-
game is like 3 or 4 hours
I think we may
maximum.
have already played the majority of it between premium and free. So anyway, that game seems like I enjoy that stuff, and I said it during the quick look. It's one of those things. Also, you realize how hard video is, and filming is, and audio, and time of day,
getting takes,
and
acting,
time of day shooting, and all this
writing
stuff.
dialogue.
And we're so used to everything just being perfect and the perfect video. And when you see something that's like, oh, you shot this scene throughout the course of a day, because in the previous shot it was 12 in the afternoon, and now it looks like it is 7 at night.
Those are fun.
And it's like, that's hard. You can't. That's hard. Anyway, brought me back to days of shooting independent movies and working on them and being like, no, I can't fix this in post. I can't fix this in post. There's no sun outside. I could put the day to night filter on.
Let me tell you something. You're right.
Yeah.
Just to reciprocate, you are right.
As a early 2000s video editor, I am right. I understand nowadays there's all sorts of tricks and matte paintings and all your trackings.
I've learned a lot since then too.
Yeah.
For sure. Because when I was in school studying film production and doing the hands-on stuff, I still have so much like not regret, because what could I do about it? But I'm just frustrated because I graduated like right as the entire world was going over to digital. So like my first year was cut and splicing. My senior year was fucking Avid.
There you go.
Like, if that makes any sense.
I don't know why they make you fucking Avid, but like, you do what you need to do in your school.
Yeah, I was an early version. So, and now being married to a TV producer, oh my God, what they do is just cheating. It's just cheating. Like, I'm talking about scenes that are completely filled with snow that you would never in a million years guess that it was the middle of August in Brooklyn when they shot it.
Yeah.
Yet, like, it is unfathomable how much can be done.
It's a lot.
And I've said this before, just because I find it so cool. A lot of very skilled people. The best effects are the ones you don't know are there. And those are like painting out shit, adding stuff in. Oh, we can't have that, like things like that.
Removing that Starbucks cup from the Game of Thrones.
Removing. Yeah, well, that gave my wife fucking nightmares, by the way. Like, she woke
This
up
is my worst nightmare.
Oh my God. But no, the show she's working on now it's a comedy on Comedy Central. It's a very funny show. It's the second season, and it's like the things that they just are like, yeah, you know what? We'll just make the wallpaper in that room different.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, huh? You'll just do that, huh?
So my brother did a post for a little while there for commercials, and it's very much the same thing of like, this is all great except that person's shirt needs to be red, not blue. And I'm like, okay, you got it. It. Hey, this house it's not working. We want this house to be the color of our product. Can you just change the color of it? Yes. Yes. Do you have a minute? Sure, we can do that.
Sure. It's a lot though, because like, you know, she manages a lot of the FX houses, right? Like she goes out, finds the vendors, and like gets the special effects created. And the show she's on now, they do a lot of like video game stuff. So she'll be like, I need like a pixel looking video game that is like a dungeon crawler sort of thing. And then they'll like send her a wireframe first, and you're like, it's just this very cool process that I don't know. I think she's real cool.
I still think making a full-on movie or TV show is insanely complicated. It is. It
depends on the show.
It still is. Like, things have gotten easier. Tools have simplified.
Oh, there's so many
making
moving
an actual
parts.
thing is still extremely difficult.
So many people, so many moving parts.
Yeah, like we're watching WandaVision right now, and she's just like, I would never work on the show. she's just like, I would never do this.
Every frame needs to be touched. Yeah.
This seems insane.
Yeah.
Why would anybody
spend the
want
next
to do
6
this?
months of your life in the same green screen studio? There you go.
It sounds so insane.
All right, Alex, what you been up to?
Let's see. I mean, some of the same games. I think last week I said that I'd gotten to the last chapter in Fights in Tight Spaces, and I was really worried that as soon as I booted it back up, I was going to immediately die, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm now working my way back.
So that was how long of a run was that?
I don't know, a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say roughly.
All right.
And then Mundawn, we finally recorded a quick look for that. That is up on the site.
That is
Brad
up
Shoemaker
on the site.
joined me.
Hey, can we say there's a secret Alex and Vinny Mundawn quick look that the world will never see? I don't know. I don't know. Frame rate got a little weird.
It was running kind of
capture.
chuggy, so we couldn't use it.
So I know all about the goats and the peepaw in the shed with the pipe. Mm-hmm. I know everything. Not just
peepaw was having a bad time.
Bad time in there. Don't shake hands with the devil man. So I can tell you.
So that's up on the site now. I just opened up today and played the first day of Cozy Grove.
Okay.
What? What's that?
It is an Animal Crossing like that maybe has a little bit in common with something like a Spiritfarer. So it is a game where you are some kind of scout, a spiritual scout. I forget what they called you.
Okay.
But you are a bright-eyed cartoon moppet that is dumped on this island, and you are told, like, you need to, commune with the spirits of this island to get your merit badges and all that stuff. But what's on the island is the ghosts of bears, ghost bears.
Okay.
And they're there and they live there.
What I said Animal Crossing needed.
Yeah.
Ghosts?
So
Ghost bears.
So you
bears.
interact with them, you do chores for them. I think the idea is by working through each of their individual narratives, you will eventually allow them to find peace in the next life or something along those lines.
Okay.
Like I said, I've only done one day of it. It's one of those games that's very much designed to you have about, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes of actual work to do. And then the rest of it is, well, now you can go run around the island and fish and collect things and, whatever else. But there's no more actual things for you to do today.
And at some point, it's just like the only thing to do is go to sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
Presumably. I don't know. Like I said, I've just played through the first day. It has a very cute art style. The ghost bears are very adorable. You're very adorable. Everything is very nicely detailed on the island. It's maybe a little busy sometimes visually. Like it's sometimes hard to maybe discern what is a thing I can pick up versus what is a thing that is just background. But I think you figured that out pretty quick.
It's not on a real-time clock like Animal Crossing though, right?
It is.
Oh, it is. So like at some
wow.
point, so you have to like say, all right, I'm done for the day, not the game day, but like today. I'm not playing this.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's on a real-time clock. Like there's a little clock in the bottom right corner. And I haven't really seen what how the game uses that yet.
Okay.
Like if there's a difference between doing stuff at night versus doing stuff at day, that kind of thing. But it's there. And I mean, it's definitely a diversion in the way that like an Animal Crossing is a diversion. It is not like a particularly intensive or gameplay heavy game, but it's charming out of the gate, I will say, and it's very cute.
Multiple save slots.
It does have multiple save slots. It is a 3,
better.
so
it's already better than Animal Crossing.
I don't ever want to have to buy a car with you, Vinny. Does the car have
multiple save slots? Is that 4 tires? It's come with the tires. Good. We should get this one.
No, you gotta dig up 3 seashells before you can get an alternator.
Yeah, the Animal Crossing they'd be like, we don't provide gas. That's an extra $700. What? Well, did you bring your own gas? No. We can only have one. Who's driving? Okay, well, we only have one driver on this car ever. So you gotta pick it now. Who's driving? Whose car is this? My wife can't drive?
Oh no, Bear is driving.
No, you. Oh no, you gotta buy another car for her. She can't drive. You want another car? It's true. It's funny because it's true. So Cozy Grove. Talking about
it's on.
Cozy Grove.
It's on everything. I think I'm playing it on PC. I've got a Switch code that I'm just gonna pass off to my girlfriend because she was interested in it. But yeah, I think it's on every platform. It just dropped today. So
Cozy Grove.
Yeah, I'll probably have more to say about that next week.
I like that name.
Cool.
I like a Cozy Grove. Anything else going on?
Yeah, the other thing, the last bit of DLC from the Civilization 6 New Frontier Pass dropped. So, like, for the last year and change, they've kind of been doing these semi-regular updates where they will add new civs, some new gameplay variants that you can kind of throw into the mix. And so we're now at the end of that. And it was a $40 thing. It was not a full expansion, but it was still $40 for all the new civs and all the new content. And the civs are good. Like I'm always happy to have more of them. Like it's never a bad thing to have more to choose from. But I would say that the gameplay stuff they did was a little more interesting than just the adding of the new civilizations. Like there's a bunch of new checkboxes and those new modes. They do like for instance, one of the ones I like is the secret societies mode, where at some point early on, you will encounter either through a city state or somewhere else evidence of some sort of secret society that you can join. And what happens is that like there's a new tier in your governor's menu where you have like this secret governor who over time, when you add the new like governor promotions to it, you will get new secret bonuses that come along with being a part of that society. Also, other civs that are part of other societies will recognize that you're part of this other society.
That's what
and
I
maybe
want.
Be wary of you.
That's what I want creeping into my games. Is George Washington was doing? Look at his hands and
look none of them are called Freemasons. All right, like that's not what they're doing. But
look at this. Look at that.
So there's that. There's also these heroes of legend is like another mode that you can do where you can. When you discover a new hero, you can dedicate one of your cities to them. And once you do that, you can unlock this new hero unit that will do something kind of ridiculous.
Okay, like what?
Like one of the ones you can do is they will just go around and they will find all the bonus resources and they will just harvest them around the map. And then you get like big like science and culture bonuses from doing that.
Okay.
So the idea is you would send them into areas that other civs maybe are occupying and steal all their shit. Don't take your own.
Are they like legendary figures from the culture? Or
I do believe, well, it's not culture specific, but I believe they are taken from like various cultural folklores across the world. Like there's another one you can go and you just go into a city state that you're allied with and you can immediately levy their entire military for free. So if you just want to like get a bunch of soldier units and go fuck someone up, for free. You can do that.
Okay.
Like, so there's a whole wide range of
I could
those.
see that would add a very new dynamic to the game.
Yeah. There's another one where it feels a little bit, you know, that was that game Old? I think it was originally called 10 Crowns, but it's called like Old World now. The one that's like sort of the Civ meets Crusader Kings thing.
Oh, that was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if you go and interact with barbarian units, they now have like clans they're a part of. And if you interact and like develop a relationship with that clan, I think they can actually eventually grow into a city state and like an ally. There's a lot of different stuff. There's a fucking zombies mode now. And these are all like different tick boxes you can decide when you're setting up a game. Like you don't have to use any of them. Yeah, exactly. I think that stuff is a lot more interesting than the actual new civs they released, most of which are good. Like I said, they're fine, but
is that church bell?
Yeah,
no, it was a guy on a dirt bike driving by. I don't know where you got church bell from.
Yeah, it really sounded like a church bell ringing. Like, oh,
okay, well, nope,
okay,
not even close, not even in the neighborhood.
I gotta go there. I gotta go. There's they're having a duel.
But anyway, so that's all out now. So if you've been holding off on spending that $40 to see what it all looked like, it's all out there. I think for me, it was worth it. Like, I think there was enough there to justify the expense. I realize that that's the same price as like a full expansion, but
sure,
you know, I felt like they put a good amount of stuff in there, and I'm pretty happy with most of it.
Are you ready to close the book on Civ 6?
Literally never.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever. I will fight every 3 or 4 months. I will get a wild hair up my ass and I'll be like, you know what? I could spend a week playing this again.
What about Civ 7?
Well, when that comes along, we'll talk. I mean, I haven't really played Civ 5 in a while. So I will say Civ 6 did eventually finally take over for me.
How many hours in? 700.
Let's say in the hundreds, like low hundreds.
Okay. All right. Good for you. Anything else, Alex?
Well, I did just download the Euro Truck Simulator 2 new DLC,
which is
the Iberian Peninsula.
Okay. Okay.
So it is Spain and it is Portugal.
Okay. All of Spain and Portugal.
Well, you know, their rendition
version
of it.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure.
So that is out now. I have not tried it yet though. So I'll have more to report about you know, driving around Porto.
Wow. What's the state of the American Truck Simulator?
Wyoming is next.
The state. What is the state? Get it? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wyoming
is next?
Wyoming is next, and then Texas is after that.
Okay. Okay.
And then for Euro, they just did Iberia. They've been hyping that one for like almost a couple of years now. And then the next one is Bigger Russia.
Even more Russia?
Because right now there's only a little bit of Russia. Okay. It is like the western part of Russia. And so they're not doing all of it because Russia's real fucking big. I don't know if you know that.
It is huge. I actually watched a video recently about like, well, damn, isn't Russia humongous, isn't it?
There's a lot of Russia out there.
Yeah.
Is it the only country that technically spans 2 continents?
I don't know. It's like a trivia question. I don't know. But
does China not reach in?
No, China
Europe?
does not reach outside of Asia.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
It was just wild how they were talking about how many countries it actually borders, and it's like all of them.
Yeah.
You know, something real weird.
But it's also like the population density is not super
The
high.
vast majority is in the western part of the country, and then I think like the eastern coast. But like a lot of that like eastern middle is just there's people there, but not a lot of them.
Yeah. Anyway, more Russia. Yeah.
Big Russia.
Big Russia.
Big Russia. Huge Russia.
What is that? I don't know.
What is that?
That was like what's his name?
Oh, is that your
Seinfeld.
Russian accent? That sounds just like my De Niro accent.
No, wasn't my Russian accent. Big muscles.
Is it Coach McGurk?
Hard.
Is it Coach
muscles?
Coach McGurk, or is it
McGurk? No, that's not McGurk.
That's not McGurk.
Okay.
I don't do a good H. John Benjamin. I don't have like the deep gate for it.
Brendan. Yeah.
Brendan, what are you doing?
Brendan, huge muscles, Brendan.
Russia is real big, Brendan.
Russia's
of course. Russia's huge, Brendan.
Have you ever been to Russia, Brendan?
Russia.
Who's your friend here? Is he Russian? Brendan.
All apologies to H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, I'm
who is
sorry.
A much better
He's got
actor
that
than
stuff
I am.
nose thing. He's good though. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you doing? Who was it?
What was that?
I'm trying. Oh, I remember it now. I now remember what that is actually from.
How do you not know?
I remember. It's just a line that was burned in my brain, but no, it's a line from Kids in the Hall Brain Candy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's the part where Scott Thompson is realizing he's gay, and it's the reason he's realizing he's gay is because he's finally remembering his experience in the military with his drill sergeant, who's just like, "We are going to be working.
Oh my God,
muscles,
that's right.
big muscles.
Why do I
huge muscles?"
Is that guy played by Phil Hartman or something?
No, it was Mark McKinney.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Kids in the Hall. It's just the Kids in the Hall guys.
I think for whatever reason, I'm thinking it was Phil Hartman. He was probably passed away by then. But
by 96, I think he was. Well, I don't remember it. Maybe not.
I put him in that situation because of So I Married an Ex-Murderer. When they go tour Alcatraz, and Phil Hartman is like the warden tour guide. Yeah.
The only non-Kid in the Hall who makes a cameo in that movie is Brendan Fraser, very briefly.
Man, I've seen Brain Candy twice, and when he's like explaining what they're trying to like test out trial drugs, and he's talking about he invented a pill that gives worms
to ex-girlfriends. Yes, it's a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
That's pretty good. All right.
You just don't get it.
Oh, that movie. There's a whole dance number, right? Oh, it's so good.
It's a delightful film that more people should watch.
How many special effects do you think are in that movie? 2.
Not a lot.
Two.
A lot
Like
of
a couple,
practical. A lot of practical.
A lot of practical.
Yeah, criminally underrated, maybe. Maybe not criminally, but yeah.
Brother.
Hey, Sean Benjamin is not in that movie.
He is not.
Brother, Brain Candy. Best movie.
Shut up, Vinny.
All right. What you got?
Shut up.
Bacalar, what have you been doing?
What's going on?
Oh, man. So I have not played a lot of video games this week. Mostly because I don't really have that much to. I do have a couple things in the queue, but I've been very busy otherwise. My son was on his spring break, and we ventured out to one of those retro arcades.
You went out.
Day.
Look at you.
And let me tell you something. If you can find a retro arcade at 2:00 in the middle of the day and not have anyone else in that place with you,
yes,
go do that, because my goodness, we had to finish Ninja Turtles arcade, we had to finish X-Men arcade, which you can actually do in a really short amount of time.
Does it when you say finish, is it like, hey, you pay entrance fee and then all the games are free? Is that
yeah, it's so like you pay by the hour thing.
Okay.
This place I've been to before, but never with this much access, with it literally being completely empty. It's interesting. Like we were playing a lot of the racing battling games that were like definitely a thing in the 80s, like
arcade versions of them.
Yeah, like, arcade racing, but also battling, like your little cars. No. We're like one car. You're in a race, but you're battling. Road Rash? Yeah, stuff like that. But then like other knockoff ones, like a bump and jump kind of thing.
I'm having trouble imagining it. Are they like top down, like tabletop?
They're top down and almost like a vertical screen, and it's the wheel has like triggers on the wheel, and you're turning it. I didn't really maybe catch the name of this one specifically, but there were a lot of those types of games there.
But it's multiplayer?
No, one player.
Oh, like Road Blaster.
Yeah, something like that.
Road Avenger, Road Blaster. Yeah.
I'd never really dug super deep into this place's really historical archive. They've got like mint condition cabs from like the 70s in there
that
are just like, oh yeah, and they're all in mint like this Simpsons arcade. All those they're not super old, but like mint condition in a way I can't describe.
You don't think it's repro? You don't think it's like
they have to be.
Oh, okay.
They have to be.
Yeah.
Like there's no way these are original condition.
Yeah, right.
But just restored.
That's
and
so nice,
all the and look, like when I go into a place and all the pinball machines are like clean, all the bulbs have been replaced to LEDs, like these people take care of these games.
How many cigarette burns on the
zero?
Yeah, those are reproduction.
Yeah, that's not real. Then.
That's not real.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like everything is just really in unbelievable condition. But like the old 70s ones have like the wood grain the vinyl on them and stuff. And
that's cool though.
There's one game I was playing where like a little marble comes out and there's a horizontal rod that's telescoping, and you can like move each end of it independently and get the marble to avoid falling through a hole.
Wait, that's the beer game. In a beer, that's like Frosty Beers or something, isn't it? Isn't that what it's called? Like
feels like it was a drink theme.
Yeah,
but it wasn't very
Capper?
obvious. No. This is like a fully
beer.
mechanical.
What is that thing? Yeah, and you go like left, right, and you try to
Yeah,
get it up.
I gotta look it up
Frosty
now.
drinks, drink that beer.
How the hell do I even look it up?
Yeah.
What's the internet?
Somebody in the chat will know. It's a pretty famous game. I don't want to say
chat.
it's like a drink something.
Ice cold beer.
Maybe.
Just gonna look that up. Anyway, wow. Talk about the worst searcher.
You just looked up ice cold beer. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's it. It's ice cold beer.
Weird. Dan Reichert's tweets came up.
Weird. Yeah, so it's made by Taito.
Uh-huh.
And there are like 10 sort of
Is it ice cold beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are like these circled sort of holes that are littered on the playfield. And you basically move these rods up and down with 2 joysticks, and you got to basically balance this marble. And as you get higher up on the playfield, it's a
real bastard.
It's impossible. The game's impossible. But yeah,
but it was functional. That's the important part.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like in perfect condition. Yeah, I mean, it's just. Yeah, the place is just wildly
That's
fun,
cool.
and
That's
I'm
cool.
trying to think of like
and empty, and I'm afraid they're going to realize that like
empty.
wiping everything with isopropyl alcohol, like in a year or two, is going to be like, oh, it ate through all the plastic.
Like acidity wise.
Yeah, I'm half joking, but like.
Well, there was a
I never
report.
know.
I think I read in the Times this morning about how like, yeah, maybe we don't need to like scrub surfaces in the way we've been doing in the last year. But yes. It's dope. This place is dope. A lot of trackball stuff. But I did find, interestingly enough, that my kid just isn't super interested in that, pre-1988 sort of stuff. Like, I think he just sees like vectors, or I mean, he sees Ninja Turtles. Maybe it's a brand he's familiar with, and he's like, oh, I'm all over that. I love the beat 'em up stuff. He sees X-Men, wants to play the Simpsons thing. But the second he sees something that, look, it looks a little lame.
You kind of have to use your imagination.
He's just like, no, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
But here's a kid who just loves pinball and all kinds of pinball. So I
They
guess
have
I
pinball.
Well, I mean,
understand
pinball,
a lot
like
of pinball there, yeah.
what you're doing in pinball does not require a lot of like mental interpretation. It's just like you're playing the game. The game is.
Yeah,
the
I mean, there's a lot of action there. I think that's what it is too. I think he but for the same reason where like, you know what? I was like, oh, I don't really want to play Centipede either. Like I don't want to, I get it.
Trackball's fun though.
Trackball stuff is good. He liked Marble Madness. They had a really good cab of that.
That's a tough game.
Tough game. He got real frustrated real quick.
Yeah.
But like super fun. Couple of light gun stuff he was into, and just a lot of fun.
Time Crisis.
No, the most modern one they had there was Area 51.
Okay.
Did
they have the little kid step stool thing they can?
Oh yeah. That's the beauty of it. Oh, they know their audience. It's like littered with those foldable, collapsible steps.
Man,
stools.
and I assume just dead empty, right?
Dead empty.
Wow.
I mean, for better or worse, I figured I was talking to the manager on our way out. I'm like, you guys lasted
doing
this
okay?
long,
Yeah.
right? Like he said they were about 50% capacity on the weekends and stuff at like their prime time. So I was like, all right. He's like, yeah, we're not going anywhere. I'm like,
oh, good.
Excellent.
That's good. That's good.
And he's like, oh, I want to charge you for, you were only here an hour and a half. So I'll charge you for an hour. I go, no, charge me for the 2 hours.
It's okay.
Come on.
We want to keep you around.
That's right.
Let's stick around, my friend.
Yeah.
So,
that's a tough one.
Yeah. So
that sounds fun.
That was fun. And then, the other
give him a
thing
shout out. What was the name again?
Game Vault in Morristown, New Jersey.
Nice.
Another thing that I found myself doing after we had Lucy and Jake on the show last week, Lucy introduced me to this thing called Notion, which is a sort of like personal organization platform.
She was tracking a lot of stuff
that she tracks her video games on. And I basically transferred a Google sheet I had into Notion to track all my games and stuff. And I'm only 3 days in, but I gotta say, like, this is the way to do it for me.
What is it free?
It is free for personal use.
Okay.
It allows you to database a lot of stuff. It's a very powerful database that lets you kind of view data in many different ways. There's a bit of a learning curve. You do have to be a little sort of savvy with understanding basic kind of logic with databasing and that sort of stuff to get really the most out of it. But they allow you to view databases through like a Kanban board. You know what that is?
Say that again.
It's called I think it's Kanban, Kanban. I hope Kanban. And that's basically just like column organization. So like you have a field at the top. So for your organizing video games, it's like unplayed, right? And then I have a field that's a column that says active, and then a column that says finished. And you basically just drag everything, and you kind of like allow yourself to, for me, I play like at certain times I'll play, 8 games that I'm sort of spinning the plates on. Some of them I forget about because, a month goes by and you're just like, oh, I made some progress in this game. I forgot about it. It just helps me better visualize all the stuff that I've touched.
I like it. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to look into it for my horrible collectionitis stuff. Sometimes
I mean, it's just
gotta figure it out.
It's just like for me, I'm sort of like an organization nut where I just need to have kind of a little bit of, or at least the illusion of control over all that.
Everything's an illusion.
Notion is giving me that feeling.
Okay.
It's giving me that satisfaction. So there's a mobile version of it as well. It is free for personal use. And I'm starting to like see if I can use it to kind of organize other stuff. But it's super powerful, and I definitely recommend it, and thank Lucy again for that recommendation for sure.
Okay.
I still need more recommendations for a multiplayer game. I got a lot. I got like 7 or 8 real good ones that I tried out with my crew, and they really pushed back on it.
You got to let them think. You got to inception them. You got to let them think they discovered it.
I know, and they were like, what about Fall Guys? I'm like, yeah, we could play Fall
Guys.
Did you try it? And we tried it, and there was a lot of like laughing, but that lasted 2 nights, and
that's about how long Fall Guys is supposed to last.
So, I think it does need to be either action or shootery. Like I said, the notion of like being a part of like a GTA, like a GTA heist sort of thing is really something I want to get involved in with these people. Again, this is not your responsibility, our listening audience. It is my responsibility. I'm open to recommendations.
Did you try Vermintide or Vermintide 2? Do you think that would go over?
No, I don't even think that's worth the download.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's worth the bandwidth.
How about they're only on console?
Yeah. And they're pretty much only on PlayStation.
Okay.
There's that Destruction All-Stars game. I don't know if that's up their alley at all.
I started playing that. I thought it was interesting.
It's all right.
But like,
and how many in your crew?
These guys suck. They suck so bad, these guys.
How many in your crew at any given time?
Any minimum of 3, maximum of 8.
Oh boy, that's a range. Okay.
I know. It's an impossible task, which is why, Call of Duty kind of is the only really thing that fit that bill.
You need to be able to get 3 to 8 in a group at the same time.
Yeah.
All right.
Or like, I'd say that, we could probably get away with 4 because then we could split up, but.
Would you be able to do
Deep
that?
Deep Rock's real fun.
Deep Rock's
good,
that's
but
a
it's
good 4-person.
It's good, but there's no, it's only on Xbox and PC.
Yeah. What's the one that we played, Alex, where it's really dark and
GTFO? That's only on PC right now.
On PC. Okay, I think that's only 3 as well, right?
Yeah, a lot of people were like all about Deep Rock.
Remnant from the Ashes. That just went on something.
I remember
that was on
game.
PS Plus actually. Yeah, but
I never played that one.
Yeah. Look, again, this is my problem. This is my problem.
It's your problem.
Yeah, you keep bringing it to our show, so I assume that means you're
well,
making it
just
our
twice.
problem as
This
well.
is the last time I'll do it. Just twice.
Put them in Notion and then put your notes down and see.
No. It's not a Notion. Not even Notion can fix this problem.
Track what their results are. All right. Hey, speaking of, we're just talking nonsense now. I got one of watches that track like how you move. One of those, what are those things called? Like a fitness watch
Yeah,
or whatever.
sure.
And because I kind of have like a higher heart rate in general, like in
Beats per minute sort of thing.
Yeah, I've always kind of had it. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it.
What are you at?
Like I think my resting is like somewhat normal, like 60s to 70s, but like it jumps up there. If I go walk around, I'm like 90 to 100 pretty quickly, and then I walk. I think the watch has to get used to. I walk to go get a coffee or something. It's like, wow, you burned 700 calories. Good job today.
No.
Good job today, bud. You're killing it.
What kind of fitness tracker you got there?
You're nailing it today. And then I'll do my bike, the indoor bike that I think calculates a little better. Maybe I don't know. Calorie burns are dumb or
those
not.
are tough to measure on a watch,
but
right?
Like, I guess I don't know. But it's like, woo,
you're in the zone.
Have?
Are you using like a legit one, or are you using one you ordered through like an Instagram ad?
It was an expensive one. It was a couple of $100.
You have a Fitbit?
No. It's a Garmin. It's a
Garmin.
The Garmin 245.
Actually, didn't Fitbit buy Garmin or something like that?
I don't know. I'm not here to promote my watch. I'm just saying it's been kind of whack. I've been doing like the calorie tracking, trying to lose weight and trying to take a little bit more control over my life as I approach the half-century mark here. Trying to
You're not that close yet. Like, you can't just keep doing that. You're not there yet.
Let Alex and I turn 40 first, dude.
Okay,
come on.
Fine. Anyway, it's funny to track and look at. It's I've got high cholesterol in my family. I've got stuff I need to be aware of. That is, fairly serious that I need to look at. And I just want to avoid being on, it's always the thing of like, hey, if you can get this down, we'll be good. Otherwise, we got to put you on something. I always just want to try and avoid that stuff. So trying to
good for you,
mix
man.
a little technology in there. Yeah, it's tough. I'll tell you what. I don't like tracking calories. I like eating.
No. Calories suck, man.
Calories are bad. Everything should be no calories. Who wants to eat 2 slices of pizza? That's not enough. That's
how
a
big's
start.
a pizza?
Well, if you're talking like a big Sicilian pie, they can have like 16 little squares on there. Pretty big squares. It just makes me feel miserable when I look back to be like, well, before I was tracking calories, this was an 8,000 calorie meal. this was, I knew I didn't get here accidentally. I knew this was a chosen path, but
this has been a long, drawn-out process of continual piling on of calories.
I knew it, and there's no surprise here, but just laid out bare right there. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Everything is ruined by math. Everything. Space.
Mm-hmm. It just sucks. It sucks that you gotta count all the calories.
Right, like some of them you should just be like, oh, that's nothing. That doesn't count.
Well, some of them I don't count. So I don't count my tea. I don't put that in.
That's like 7.
That's right. So
I don't put coffee has like 2 calories.
Yeah, I don't count a coffee. I drink it black. I don't put sugar in it. Even the tea, I only put a little bit of sugar, and I use like almond milk, which is like all calorie for the amount I put in. I don't track that stuff, and I figure, but I don't also add back in the exercise because I'm not killing it. So I always figure, hey, here's a little bit of a buffer. I'll just have a little buffer.
I see Marty. I see him. He's looking at us. He sees us. Hey, Marty.
All right. Anything else, Bacalar, you want to get into?
No, I think that's it. I think that's all I have for this week.
Okay. Well, I think we'll take a little break here, and we'll come back with a little bit of the news. We'll burn some calories on some news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. During the break, you can make a duty.
Oh boy. Hey, Brendan, you have to make a duty, Brendan. Here we go.
Brendan, make a duty.
Jeff Bacalar.
Hey, what's up, Vinny?
This episode this week is brought to us by Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny.
What?
Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny, which is a new podcast fueled by Monster Energy. This feels like it is right in my wheelhouse. Shall I continue, Jeff Bakalar?
What did you just say to me?
Here's what it says here. This summer, professional skateboarder Nigel Houston will represent the U.S. in Tokyo for skateboarding's Olympic debut, which I think that's pretty cool.
That is very cool, and it's about time. Yeah, it's about time skateboarding's a sport in that thing, yeah.
But for Nigel, the real skateboarding happens in the streets, putting out videos, shredding with your friends, being in Thrasher.
You know what Thrasher is, right, Vin?
Yeah, that's a magazine for thrashing. That's what it's really all about. Plus, he keeps a voodoo doll on his nightstand as a talisman. Superstition or secret keys to success. I'm not going to render an opinion on that.
You're reading what the intro to Skate 4 is, I feel like.
Hear for yourself by tuning into episode 1 of the podcast as Nigel breaks down raw street skating and living the life of the world's most winning street skater. Hosted by sports personality The Dingo and professional snowboarder Danny Cass, Unleashed is the alternative sports podcast you've, Jeff Bakalar, been waiting for.
All right.
Brought to you by Monster Energy.
I almost don't believe Monster's the thing here, but I guess we're just gonna have to take your word for it. He's a filthy skateboarder. I mean, that's fun to hear about and know about.
I want Nigel to get the gold.
I do too. I wonder how I don't even know what the events are. I imagine they do a vert and then like a street thing.
I don't know. According to this copy, it's shredding with your friends, being in Thrasher.
You're not going to win a gold medal in thrashing with your friend or shredding with your friends. That's not going to be an event. It's not going to be an event. How do you judge that?
I'm not going to, but maybe Nigel will.
All right. Well, best of luck to Nigel in Tokyo.
I could win a gold medal shredding with my friends, but it's not going to go well, and it would mean my friends are very bad at shredding.
I don't know who this dingo person is.
I don't know, but I want a nickname. How do I get a nickname like the Dingo? Call me the Vingo, please, from now on. Anyway, thanks, Monster Energy. You can go tune into Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny. Let's get back to the Beastcast with Vingo and the gang. And we're back, folks. Hello. Boy, I almost forgot we had couldn't find the ad there. Wow, I exported this.
Forgot that, huh?
Where I didn't put it in the thing, wasn't in the hopper. But we did it. I did it.
You did it.
I did it. All right.
You did it.
I did. Alex Navarro. Last week you pulled the news and we read the news. This week you pulled the news and you get to read the news as well.
But we read them in your voice.
Oh, how did that sound?
I enjoyed it.
I think it worked out.
Okay.
I think it worked
out.
Yeah.
It was good.
We got through it. We did it.
Like, we knew what you meant. We knew what you meant.
We did it.
Yeah.
We got through it.
Well, no one tweeted me clips of it, so I assume it wasn't offensive. So
well, we didn't do it in your voice. We did it in the like, oh, this is why, this is the editorial voice, Alex. This is what he was going for.
Right.
I see.
Right.
All right.
Alex, what do you got this week?
We got some things. Some stuff happened. Let's talk about it. E3. E3. Let's talk about E3.
No longer the Electronic Expo?
Well, actually, it's more Electronic Expo than ever this year.
Oh, okay.
Oh, brother.
Well, it is, because it's an all-digital event this year.
Did they not change their name to, like, Exhibition instead of Expo?
It's still E3.
Okay.
They are still calling it E3.
Okay.
Good for them.
Why? Why are they still calling it E3?
I don't know, because that's a brand people recognize.
No, I mean, like, what is happening this year?
Okay, so they are doing an all-digital event. My understanding, based on the announcement, is that the main E3, the thing that is the show, will take place this year between June 12th and June 15th.
Okay.
They have announced commitments from a number of significant publishers: Nintendo, Xbox, Capcom, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Warner Brothers, Koch Media, and of course, Konami?
Konami?
Yeah.
I thought they were out of the game.
I think they might be getting back into the game.
Okay.
But yeah, so there was some rumored stuff about like them maybe doing some media stuff the week beforehand, but it sounds like the actual E3 event will be taking place around this time. They still want to do an in-person E3 again next year, but this year will not be that. It will be an all digital event.
What are we doing this? Is it the premium pass thing? What are we doing? Do you know? Do we know?
So it sounds like, according to this release, E3 2021 content will be free to access thanks to unannounced global media partners. So sponsorships, I assume, are sponsoring the content, and therefore that makes it so people can watch the stuff for free.
I want to say if you're a sponsor, you kind of want to be announced, but maybe they'll get to that later at some other day. I feel like if you're some kind of dark money laundering money through E3, then maybe you want to stay unannounced.
Oh, you mean the ESA?
Yeah, that's right. We got to dump this money. We got to clean this money. How do we do it?
Allegedly.
Okay. All right. So who's missing from this list?
All right. Well, no EA, obviously, because they haven't done E3 in a while.
Okay. Well, they did their own thing.
Yes. There's no Activision on this initial volley.
Okay.
There's no Square Enix on this initial volley.
Squeenix out. Okay.
And no Sony.
Well, Sony hates E3.
Well, everyone hates E3. That's not news. Everyone fucking hates E3.
Well, yeah. So Sony's probably gonna do their own thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of these other companies also do their own thing.
There's gonna be a lot of doing your own things over the course of the summer, I think.
Okay. All right. What were the dates again? June
12th through the 15th of June.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Get hype?
Sure.
No.
Hey. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Hey,
that
no.
virtual CES was great.
Was it?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
It was
I
great,
believe the
yeah.
tone of your voice. So
Yeah. This is not a lying voice.
that sounds like a true voice. Hey, if I like seeing the new stuff in video games and what they have to offer. So
Yeah, but you're gonna see that.
regardless of if there's an E3 or not.
Yeah.
That might be true. Have a little.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll share it with the kids, or maybe we'll just be sitting talking over it, and I won't do that at all. We'll see.
I want E3 to be good. You know, I want it to be a thing that I flock to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
I will look forward to this electronic experience, electronic entertainment experience. Alex, what else is going on?
Game Pass. We talk about it a lot here.
It's true.
Generally, we are fond of it and the many, many games that it provides. A little bit of Game Pass news broke over the last week, including one particular thing that happened right after the podcast, which I still at least want to touch on here. So there's some stuff coming to Game Pass this month. Most of it's, none of it's really super exciting. I will say Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming back to Game Pass after not having been there for a while.
Oh, what? So, weird. I wonder how Rockstar's launcher thing is doing.
I don't know, but I have to imagine it's a situation where someone threw a dump truck of money at them and said, "What if you came back to Game Pass?" And they said, "Okay."
Or it could be, maybe their thing was like, "Hey, look at this chart. It goes down when we came off of Game Pass. Let's sell some more shark.
We're not selling enough items."
Yeah.
But so that's officially launched back on Game Pass as of today. It'll be on cloud and on console. And the big one, the interesting one, the wild one here, MLB the Show 21, the new MLB the Show, the one that is appearing on Xbox for the first time this year, is going to be on Game Pass at launch.
It's a power move.
Yeah,
it is a power move.
You might have pulled a story about this before. This was kind of or is this the first time it's announced?
I think this is the first time it's officially been announced.
Okay,
we've talked about it coming to Xbox, but I don't think the
Game
Pass stuff was known until late last week.
Okay.
But so the really wild, on its face, this is a bizarre thing because essentially Sony's marquee, their only in-house sports title, it's already wild enough that it's coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
But putting it on Game Pass, essentially making it free to play for people who subscribe to Game Pass, whereas you have to pay $60 for that thing on PS5.
Yeah.
The economics of that are very strange. And a lot of people were rightfully like, what is going on here? Well, apparently the reason this is happening, and Sony has come out and said this, is because MLB, the organization, is publishing the Xbox version of the show 21. And they are the ones that struck the deal with Microsoft to bring it to Game Pass at launch. That Sony did not make that decision.
Like there's no poor Sony in this situation, but there is a there is a Sony which is like, what is
is this how we're making
Cyberpunk,
out?
and now we got the MLB thing. Can somebody just please tell me what is happening? How did this? I'm going on vacation. I'm taking the days. I've got the days. I'm just taking the days. You figure it out. You guys figure it out. You figure it out.
Well, they figured it out, and it's coming to Game Pass on April 20th. So
okay.
It's a wild thing. It's just it's a really weird thing, and the whole nature of that relationship with MLB, them publishing the Xbox version, all this stuff. I have a theory about how this is all going to end up, and I'm going to say that my theory is that within the next year or two, we may see Sony divest themselves entirely of making baseball games and maybe selling that whole thing off to someone else because they don't want to fucking deal with it. I don't think that that's just a total guess on my part, but it just the whole nature of this feels like if they're getting strong-armed by the licensor, Sony's not going to sit around and just take that.
Yeah.
Like, they can find someone else to make MLB The Show, and it will still come to PS5, and they don't have to sit there and eat their pride every single time that game shows up on Game Pass year after year now.
I don't think MLB doesn't do well, right? I assume it's like...
No, it does. The show one is the only big console game that is a simulation baseball game. Like, no disrespect to like Super Mega Baseball, which is a delightful game and a delightful franchise, but it is not a simulation.
Is it the only MLB license? I assume.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought RBI Baseball has.
Well, but that's not the same scale of product that we're talking about.
No, but
here.
it's right. Yes, but it's okay.
I'm talking about at this scale, like the major publisher putting it out.
Sure.
Like MLB 2K has not existed since I think like the mid-aughts.
Right.
Well, here's the thing,
EA,
Alex.
I thought all it took was like the licensing of all the players and all the stadiums and all the names. No?
So here's what I come into the room. Jim Ryan's pacing back and forth, and I say, Jim, relax. Jimbo.
Jim Jam.
Dingo, Jimbo. The Dingo and Jim, relax. Dingo, you leave because this is conversation for Jim. Listen, before we were just on Sony platforms, we're still gonna be on Sony Not everybody owns an Xbox and a PS. So people on it. So just consider it. You know, that stuff will happen in the Microsoft world, and we'll still have the PlayStation people here. Jim, relax. Jim, it's gonna be.
That sounds like a good way to never be heard from again.
Jim, it's your mother. Jim, relax. It's gonna be fine. People who are they love the baseball, Jim, and they love you, Anyway, it's not weird.
It is weird. It's just weird.
Also, The Last of Us 2 on Xbox Game Pass. Now that one's weird.
Don't
start with that. Don't start in with that.
Look at you. Jokes.
Hey.
This guy's got jokes.
I got him. I shouldn't use them, but I got him. What else, Alex?
All right. Well, speaking of weird, this is just I just want to briefly touch on this one because this story has been passed around over the last day or so, and it is maybe one of the single dumbest things I've seen in a long time. Okay. So I guess GDC happened. Online presentations for GDC happened a few weeks ago. I wasn't really paying attention to that stuff, but they did happen. And Intel was one of the companies that gave a presentation at GDC a few weeks back. And I guess the presentation they gave was for this new service they want to launch called
I think it was
Bleep.
I think it was part of it. I watched.
Yeah, it was part of the thing.
Yeah. So
Bleep, for those interested, is back-end technology that I'm assuming uses some kind of deep learning technology to filter out offensive content in gaming stuff. So, if you're talking about, homophobia, name calling, racism, sexually explicit language, white nationalism,
for example,
the full spread.
Yeah.
Many of these have sliders that you can toggle on and off for some. Maybe you just want some sexually explicit language, but most of the racism. Like that's it. It's everyone's different.
Have you seen this image?
I'm looking at it.
It is. When I saw the image, I immediately was like, "This is April Fool's. This is a joke."
Of course, that was my immediate reaction too.
This is nobody would allow this image, even if it's a real thing, to enter the internet. Not a chance.
Yeah, it's just
poor this fucking Matthew Solarzeitz looking dude who is just standing there next to a toggle that says N-word on off. Like that guy, I don't know if he knew what he was stepping into, but boy,
listen, there's a part of me that is like, we want a better online community. There are many doors. This one could stay. This one, I don't think this one. I don't know if this is the way. Let's.
It's just insane to me that someone at some point was like, "We're gonna let our users tailor the amount of racism they're comfortable with."
Now, I think there's a part of me that is very deep down that is not even devil's advocate. That is just saying like there are, because you look at this list and it is a parody of a parody, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, I could see where at some point on the whiteboard, somebody was like, well, there are people who use these words in their community, not as a negative thing. So we should be able to slide it, right? To be like, well, we're not sure if they're using it offensively or if they're using it, and like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Put a slider on there. Maybe they'll just, take it halfway down because, you're right. We don't want to get in trouble there. We don't want to do that. I also,
as former Giant Bomb staffer Austin Walker said on Twitter, it really should have been a slider between hard R and non-hard R, as opposed to a toggle.
Funny. Okay, it's funny, but not funny. Also, the one that just gets me when you're just going down the list is the one that just says, underneath swearing on this graphic, just says white nationalism.
How much white nationalism do you want in your video game streams?
I like it like hot sauce. I want it to push me, but not all the way.
I'm doing Fortnite and I'm doing really in-depth reporting, so I really need to make sure that we're going to be talking about this. So I need to make sure that slider comes. I don't know, man. I have nothing.
Look, they're trying to solve a problem, and I get that, but they are trying to do it in the most tech industry way possible, which is to say that they are trying to apply a litany of weird technologies to a human problem. Like, you are not going to solve white nationalism with a toggler.
This
that's not going to happen.
But it's also so fucking stupid because you are, you're based the fact that like there are now some sort of psychotic fucking algorithm out there that decides
we deep learned all the N-word in this AI, and boy, it's not happy.
And certain things fall into the sum, and certain things fall into the most. And it's like, who are you? Who are you? The person? Who are you? The fucking person that goes through this slider and it's just like some. Somebody thought
Skynet wasn't terrible enough. What if Skynet was a racist white nationalist and like learned it all from this filter on here?
This does so much more harm than good too. Like
it's the whole thing is
so much more harm than good. I'm sure intentions were well, and
the intentions are always good, but they're almost always misguided too, and that's what this is something deeply misguided.
Fuck.
I don't know what to say about this except for like
I just needed to point it out because it haunts me. Knowing about it haunts me.
Look at this and I still have trouble thinking it's not a parody.
Intel.
Yeah.
It's only been a week since April 1st.
Still
got time.
But this presentation is like 3 weeks old.
No, like it was a preemptive one. That's how good we are.
Look,
you guys thought this was real?
Just sweep it under the April Fool's rug, and we'll let this one slide. My God.
Just make sure you don't slide it too far, because then that's how you end up with white nationalism.
nice.
Yeah.
Like. Okay, just one last thing to say here. There's a world in which this presentation had a content filter that said, what did they say? None, some, most, or all, right? And that's it. And then you just had all this in the background behind a thing. You didn't have a slider that said white nationalism or name calling. It just said content filter, and you're like, we're trying to filter out objectionable content. And people would have been like, that's wild, and then people would try and test it and see what's in there. And in the background, on a buried in a document that is password protected, you had these sliders running that nobody ever saw, but like, just on its face, you gotta read the room a little. You gotta
read it. Look. Somehow, we don't know how. We don't want to know how. Somehow, a fully conceived and produced SNL digital short found its way from Intel's
GDC presentation.
Into their presentation. Right? Like somehow it found, and it just got published as a real thing. That's what happened. We don't want to know. It's a wormhole. We don't know.
I'm gonna say this. If you're a game developer, don't follow this lead and like put this in the options for your thing. We could try and make it
just
so
ban
that
people, man.
We could try and make it so that we are not an ignorant society that doesn't need sliders for white nationalism on our computers. Like, I don't know. I think there are other paths we can go down, but it's not for me necessarily to. I really have nothing. I still feel like somebody's gonna say this was a joke. I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah, it feels very, very, very parody-licious.
It's so. Yep. Okay.
Well, we live in the dumbest possible age, so there.
What else we got?
So we've talked here and there about how more than likely we are still going to be seeing a whole litany of delays as this year wears on. You know, last year a lot of games did manage to come out, but those games were mostly done. Games that have been in development since COVID times began are finding themselves in a situation where they are having to delay. Deathloop, a game that was supposed to come out this summer, I believe, is now been delayed to September. This is the second delay for the game. Oh yes, May 21st it was its original date.
I'm gonna because of my selfish want to play this game, but
yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah, but like, you gotta take the time when you if you have it, right?
But like, I'm looking at this, this Polygon story about it, and they're listing off other things. The Lord of the Rings and Hogwarts Legacy were pushed into next year. Yeah. That Amazon MMO got delayed again. Gran Turismo 7 was delayed to 2022. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was just kind of in the works. And I mean, you've heard it from developers saying that, like, we're operating, but we are not operating at the speed we would normally be prior to all of this, and that work still has to get done. We don't want to put out garbage.
Yes, I hope. Yep. Selfishly, I still want to play that game though, Alex.
I mean, it's still this year. Like, at the very least, it isn't like, hey, 2022. It's like, hey, you're waiting 3 more months.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
So
sorry, go ahead, Backler.
No, I was gonna say, so like everything moves back, like the console exclusivity moves back too.
I would assume that all that stuff is built into launch date.
Yeah,
so
sliding, like the whole thing slides.
Yeah.
Someone out there being like, "Ooh, it'll get delayed so far that it'll just be launched as a multi-platform game."
Yeah. I'm sure that doesn't work. Development, man. It sounds like it is still really, really development. Always tough. Tougher.
Yeah.
I was looking at the story here. Okay. That's Deathloop delayed out until September
14th, I believe.
Okay.
There you go.
Continue playing Dishonored. Alex, what else?
Well, in the realm of games that are being turned into battle royales for the sake of the Switch, Pac-Man is now the latest one to get this.
Yes.
It apparently launched yesterday on the Nintendo Online service. It is Pac-Man 99.
Pac-Man 99.
And it's very much in that same vein of the Tetris 99, the Super Mario Brothers 35. Which, can you even still play Super Mario 35, or did that die with everything else?
I never played it, so I don't know.
I don't know.
I know they murdered Mario, but I wasn't sure how many Marios they murdered.
But this looks kind of neat, actually. This one I might check out. I didn't really do too much of the Tetris 99. This one seems. I watched the trailer for it, and it seemed all right.
I did a lot of Tetris 99. I did not do a lot of Super Mario 35.
I didn't know.
I will try
Super
this Pac-Man 99.
Yeah. This is out now. I didn't know this was.
It was out as of yesterday.
Okay. Well, I guess there are opinions already about it then, probably. This is where
almost assuredly
99 folks are playing Pac-Man, and then if you eat a ghost, it sends like a jammer ghost onto somebody else's screen, and I assume there's targeting and the whole thing. Yeah, I like Pac-Man. Pac-Man still holds up.
You know what you could also do? Just play some fucking Pac-Man.
You could. You could. That's one way to do it. But who wants to do that? Alex, what else?
Yeah. Jeff Ackler, you like that Streets of Rage 4, right?
Yes, I'm a fan of that game, very much so. Do you have news about that game for me?
Yes, I did. I also like that game. There is DLC coming. So it is the Mr. X Nightmare add-on, which I believe is out as of, I think, today.
Okay.
It is, let's see here. There's 3 new characters, or one of the 3 new characters. There's Estelle Aguirre. I don't know who that is, but okay. I maybe that's a character we already know about. New moves, new weapons, some basically just new content for that game. If you want to play more Streets of Rage 4.
Nice.
Do we have a price on there?
I don't have that handy.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking.
But there is a free update, I think, also coming with some new difficulty levels and things like that.
Okay. No date yet, right? It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says this year, but
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, no, yeah, it was announced today, but I don't know when this is actually coming out.
And Alex, is this the last one here?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, other than the first couple of biggies, it was kind of a slow news week. But look, we're now in the process of 4King everything.
Yeah.
The 4K versions of movies are coming out. Everyone's getting that HDR, which is great. I love the HDR. I can't get enough of it. Maybe I'll get enough of it with Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Oh my goodness. Yes, please.
Yes, please. That is getting an 4K HDR release, I believe later this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I've seen this, but I don't remember a lot about it. And I am not really a Final Fantasy VII head, so I could not tell you whether it was any good or not. It's kind of indecipherable to me. Now, the other Final Fantasy movie they put out, the one they put in theaters the Spirits Within. Now that's a fucking movie. And by a fucking movie, I mean a pile of garbage.
What?
But would I watch that in 4K HDR? I absolutely would.
I don't remember Advent Children explicitly, but I remember enjoying it. I think there's a cool scene where they're like all throwing cloud into the sky. I think that was a cool scene. I mean,
the thing I remember about it is that it was very pretty. It was very colorful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that will look nice in that format, but it's not a thing that I have any real personal attachment to.
Final Fantasy Extended Universe is here again. Spirits Within, though, that's a creepy movie, kind of.
Yes, uncanny, one might say.
Yeah, well, like also like you knock your soul out. Like that was like these ghosts that like go through you.
Gaia.
This Gaia takes your soul out.
I think so. Alec Baldwin's there.
Yeah, and who is the professor?
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland is there. Yeah,
Ming Na, I think was the lead actress.
Oh man. I think that's the peak on the graph where right before that, everybody was saying they should just make a movie. These cutscenes look so good. Like Blizzard or Square, they should just make a movie. And then after that, nobody said that. Everybody stopped saying that. We're like, nah, I think we're good.
I think it was like Siskel and Ebert really liked, what's it? Why do I keep forgetting the name of it?
Spirits Within.
Spirits Within, yes. I think they really liked Spirits Within when it came out, but almost no one else did.
Okay. Well, they are huge anime fans.
Yeah.
Backlar, you got some news on here.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting because we mentioned last week when I talked about EA getting its own golf thing. Oh, that was the thing we read in your voice that I really liked. When you were like, EA would like to make a golf game as well. I thought that was that was like vintage Navarro right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think someone in the conversation was like, oh, the Masters are too pricey. They'll never license it, or they hadn't done it in a while. Turns out the Masters will be licensed and will be in PGA Tour, esports PGA Tour golf. Okay. So that's exciting. If you've been,
did we not know that? Isn't the game like PGA Tour Masters?
No.
Oh, it's just EGA golf.
Yeah.
So are they going to get Jim Nance to do the commentary?
I don't know about that. That'd be really cool.
No, that's not true. There's absolutely nothing really cool about.
I was just gonna say, is that cool? If you're like,
it would be authentic, but I don't think it would be cool.
Yeah. Okay, sure. However you want to describe it, but the Masters is an expensive license, and it's they got it in there. So how about that?
How about that?
It hasn't been in a game since 2013.
Really?
So yes. So they haven't. No Masters has appeared in a video game since 2013's Tiger Woods PGA Tour 14. That was the last time it was in a game.
No Kings, no Masters.
There you have it.
There you have it.
So yeah.
Is that it?
That's your Masters update. The Masters are this weekend, I believe. You guys heard about this this game Abandoned? Do you know what this is? Do you know what happened?
I've heard the name floating around.
There was a trailer that was released by Sony for this game called Abandoned, and almost immediately conspiracy theories started to circulate that this was a Kojima in disguise game a la PT.
Based on what?
Based on...
Did you not play Death Stranding? All the clues are in there.
Based on some real generous assumptions about what's going on in this thing. Bottom line, it is not Kojima's next game. Kojima confirmed he is working on something, and apparently something with Microsoft.
Well, there's a rumor going around that Microsoft is making a very aggressive bid to try and get his next thing locked up for theirs.
So we don't know whether or not that will remain to be seen, but that seems to be the strongest rumor as of right now.
I just remembered that Death Stranding was part of the Andrew House regime at Sony, and I'm wondering if after he left, like the contact there might have kind of dried up, like because Jim Ryan is not Andrew House.
That's factually true.
That man does not have the
that,
charisma or the maybe the same stroke that Andrew House was pulling down.
Sure.
Do you think Death Stranding after development costs is looked at? I bet it is a success.
I bet it did fine. Yeah. I bet it totally did fine.
I don't know.
That team wasn't huge, was the thing. Like, I mean, there were a decent number of people working on it, but it wasn't like, I mean, I imagine they spent a lot on actor salaries, but
I feel like the stories were like, oh, it's like, it's unlimited budget. And then I would hear like, no, this is not actually that,
he did not break the bank on it. I am to understand.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I bet it did fine. So I bet Microsoft would be very excited to have a Kojima.
I mean, that's always been their Achilles heel, right? Is Japanese development. Like they've tried many times over to get Japanese publishers on board, and sometimes it has worked, sometimes it extremely has not.
Yeah. Okay. I get I don't know, like tickled a little bit when something comes up in the news that even in the most the largest of stretch ways somehow resembles PT in any capacity. I still think that is like the best thing that's really ever happened in terms of just weird community video game experimental things. That was great.
It was a beautiful time.
It was a beautiful moment, a beautiful time. What was that? 2015, 2014,
14, I think.
Yeah. Is it
anyway? People went a little nutty with presumptions with this one. This game Abandoned is a survival horror game that is very spotty on the details, and the developer, a place called Blue Box Games, has almost no presence online whatsoever. So a lot of eyebrows raised, and we're like, what's the deal? What's going on? And anyway, it's not the case. So
while we're talking
I'm still hoping it is, but it's not the case.
While we're talking about cool trailers, one dropped this week that I feel like people should go look up is this game called Harry Halibut, which I had never heard of before, but they dropped this trailer and it has this like kind of I don't know how to describe it other than just a sort of like model animation look to it. Like
Harry
sort of like
or Harry, like
I think it's Harry.
Harry, like the name. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Harry.
It's I had never heard of it. It's apparently some kind of adventure game, but it has a look to it.
Halibut, like the fish.
Yeah, like the fish. You should check this trailer out. It is on my radar now.
Okay.
I think it's an existing franchise.
Is it?
Oh,
I think it is
games.
Harry Halibut is a cartoon character.
Okay.
Sounds like
that's the first I'm hearing about any of this.
Sounds like a mid 2000s educational game.
Yes, Harry Halibut teaches you about halitosis.
about sliders, profanity sliders.
Harry Halibut teaches you about white nationalism.
You're going to want to turn this one way up, folks. This one here, all the way up, strong. Keep going. You can't hear a word I'm saying. No.
It's just one long bleep.
And that's the Halibut way. All right, don't flounder.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since a video game trailer struck me at all, and that one kind of hit me. So,
all right, you guys want to head into to some emails?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're gonna take another short break here, folks. Stick around. We'll be right back. Oh, well, that didn't play the music.
Oh, well, you should find the thing that plays the music.
Hey! And we are back, and it's time for emails. You gonna see that? Get hot, come down. It's like a roller coaster, loop de loop. It's time for emails. If you got an email, you can send them to beastcast@giantbomb.com. That is beastcast@giantbomb.com. Thanks everybody for sending in the emails. Appreciate it. Thank you. A lot of emails about tea this week and proper brewing of tea, as we
had
talked
a
about last week.
major.
That's what you get for having British people on.
Yeah. What? Major tea.
Big tea week.
Big T week. Alex, why don't you take this one from Josh here?
Okay. Josh says, do you think there will ever be a great Godzilla game? There have been close to 60 games made that feature Godzilla, but not one of them has ever been truly considered to be a great game. Same thing could have been said about Batman until Arkham Asylum came out. Could some team make a genre-defining Godzilla game, or is the King of the Monsters doomed to mediocrity? What type of game would it be?
What type of game would it be?
Do you want a good Godzilla game? Is that?
Could you make an Into the Breach Godzilla game where you're like a turn-based taking on
I don't
all
think
the
that's
monsters?
what.
No?
I mean, yes, you could, but
Okay.
I'm not necessarily certain that's what people who like Godzilla would want.
Okay, can you make a Pokemon Snap-ish? You're trying to film. Your Godzilla is fighting monsters, and you're like like an amateur news person trying to get the best shots, and you have to you have to traverse the city while not getting destroyed to get the greatest shots. Get a shot of Godzilla breathing fire.
I need more pictures of Godzilla.
Get a shot of Mothra's face. This is terrible. We can't print this. What's the turtle? Tortex? What's the
Gamera?
Yeah. Get Gamera with his limbs tucked in. That stuff. And get me a shot of that. That could be fun.
You guys are way beyond where I'm at with this.
Okay.
I'm just like, who are the Godzilla people? I understand Godzilla is a fun monster that we just can't let go of. In the same way of, King Kong. And I don't know, I guess that movie looks all right, but why do we need, I don't know. I question more of why Godzilla.
Oh.
Look, Godzilla is the king of the monsters for a reason. He's beloved in his native Japan. And, I think that me personally, I'm a big fan of the old man in suit Godzilla movies.
Okay.
I have never really liked any of the American CG ones. I haven't seen Godzilla versus Kong yet, but I did not like The other two recent ones, I certainly did not like that 90s one, though that soundtrack banged.
Is that the Matt Broderick one?
Yeah, the one that had like Rage Against the Machine and that fucking stupid P. Diddy song with Jimmy Page.
That's where they find the eggs in Madison Square Garden, right? They're like,
yes.
Yeah.
That movie's extremely bad.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Is it worse than the King Kong one where they have to like do heart surgery on King Kong? You remember that one? They have to like
the Peter Jackson one?
No, this is pre-Peter Jackson. They like have King Kong and they have to like do like I think they have to like do a heart thing on him and like,
what? A coronary? What's going on?
I forget what happened. It's a long time ago. I saw it when I was a kid.
He had an enlarged heart.
Yes, and they just have to, his heart was too big. Turns out, his heart was too big.
I think, look, the spirit of Godzilla, and especially in like the 60s and 70s Japanese movies, is, he is a monster, but he is their monster. He is the monster that protects people.
That's right.
He is the monster that fights the other monsters.
That's right.
And
is that what it is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, at some point.
It's a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't start out that way, but that's kind of what it develops into. He kind of becomes like Lizard Ultraman.
Is that when he starts shooting electricity out of his mouth?
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that happen to Godzilla over the years.
Can anyone give me the quick rundown of like what exactly is the blue space laser coming out of old Godzilla's throat there?
It's this special power.
That's it.
It's love.
It's not like
it's love.
Okay. It's love.
Yeah, it's love for the people of Japan.
That's how he procreates. Okay.
Yeah, don't get hit by that. You don't want to get hit by
that. But I think, look, the Godzilla games, the only ones I can really think of and remember are ones that like tried to capture the idea of big monster battling in a city, and like the reason they're never very good is because there's really only so far you can go with that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a gigantic Pacific Rim fan. Like Pacific, the first one.
Yes, I think the first movie is very good.
Very good.
Is the second one not good? I never saw it.
I never saw it.
Okay. I don't think anyone saw that.
Okay.
Yes, the first one, very good.
Here's the game for you, Alex. Here's my Godzilla game for you. It's really good pixel art, but it's very good. It's some good pixel art. It is about the kind of waning days of the guy in the Godzilla suit, and you play as him, and like as the studio.
It's sort of like a co-op game.
Nice.
No.
Okay.
There are scenes where you got to get in this when you're in the suit working, but it's really about this guy's home life, and like he's going to be out of a job soon. He knows this is the last Godzilla movie. Like effects are coming in, like they're not using the guy in the suit anymore, and you just kind of play like how do you get out of this? And he has dreams of being Godzilla, and you play through that kind of like
the wrestler. It's the wrestler.
Yeah, you're playing through that real life thing, and like when he puts the suit on, then he's just stomping stuff, and you play like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, I'm really Godzilla. Then he takes it off, and they're like, good job, go home, and like here's your money, and he goes home and.
The one thing I think if someone were to try and make a modern version of this, they would try to make the most photorealistic city that you can, most fine detailed city that you can just destroy and stomp over and set fire to and what have you as you were fighting Mothra or Rodan or whoever the fuck else. But that's wrong. That is wrong, and you should not do that. What you should do is harness the power of modern PCs, the PlayStation 5, the Series X, what have you, to create the most realistic model physics you have ever seen in a video game.
Okay.
Buildings should collapse like they are made of poster board. Like the sparks that shoot out of it. There should be tons of particle effects, but they should look like someone set off a sparkler underneath the model that you are destroying. That's what people want. They want the rubber suit mechanics. They want the slow movement. They want cities that break apart like you are stomping on someone's cardboard box.
So you want the Godzilla.
You want Trashzilla.
Yeah, you want them to make the game of the bad effects Godzilla.
Yes,
okay.
I want that to be done well.
Strings on everything and like wobbly.
Yes, I want rockets that shoot by, but there's very clearly a wire on them that is shooting it across. Like I want
gauge wire. Yeah,
I want to see the zipper on the suit.
Right.
Nice.
You want the model train that crashes at a little puff of smoke comes out.
And then all of those battles. All of those battles should be interspersed with these deeply rich, visual novel storytelling of the people on the ground dealing with this shit. Like I want the video game to cut to the 70s dance club where people are fucking, getting high on drugs and fucking singing about pollution.
Right.
In between Godzilla destroying stuff.
I like it. So I'm sold. How much money do you need for it? $5?
$11 billion.
Okay. We'll get Kojima on it and Phil Spencer together. And oh man,
Yeah.
Kojima Godzilla game would either be maybe the best thing or the worst thing to ever happen.
It would be 11 hours too long. I can tell you that much.
And when does Godzilla start talking? Monster?
Never.
I'm the
Never.
monster? Yeah. Act 2.
If
All
Godzilla is talking, you've already fucked up.
We got this other one here. I'm going to read this. Let me sure to put my mouse on the screen.
Okay.
I'm going to read this one here from Mike. Mike says, I just scored a free guitar. Nice. And I want to learn how to play it. I'm 38 with 3 kids. Don't really want to take lessons.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, you're fucked.
Is that Rocksmith game a good substitute to learn the basics? I've been a drummer.
Did we not talk about this?
I've been a drummer for 30 years, so I understand rhythm. I've just never understood notes and chords. Really just looking to get a hobby level understanding so I can noodle around. Any ideas on how to get started? Thank you.
You missed
Mike.
such an opportunity to do that in an accent. That entire.
I don't think I would say I missed it. I would say I dodged it. I think
Okay, fair.
That's Mike. That's Mike from Boston.
Like, I want to tell you something, my friend. You need lessons to learn a thing. That's how that works.
That's not true. I never took lessons. I learned a couple of things. Not well.
But you did something. I mean, I get
practice.
Basically, Rocksmith would be lessons in this case.
So
you know what I'm saying?
My general line, and Alex, this is probably why you say, have we done this before? My general line on Rocksmith is, and I don't know if things have changed, it's been a while, is a great practice tool, not a great
not necessarily the
tool.
best teaching tool.
Yeah, like I don't know if you feel that way about Rock Band as well. Like it can get you the motor skill and stuff, but if you need to learn some stuff, I think Rocksmith is not necessarily the best way to do it. But my advice to Mike is, in the time since I have learned guitar on my own, the internet. Oh, there's all sorts of people that want to teach you.
Dude, there's YouTubes upon YouTubes upon YouTubes you can access.
I want to say Fender has like an online thing, because I hear ads for it on other podcasts that you could like learn, like a Fender school or something.
But again, that's lessons.
That's lessons. But
if the bit is you don't want to find a guitar teacher and you don't want to go to a place to take lessons, I understand that. But you need some kind of online learning resource if you're going to do it.
Of course.
You want to. I think that the thing that I would say is probably the most important is just avoiding some really bad habits. That's probably the thing. If you can get some fundamentals and a chord book, and just learn like, oh, this is the way I'm going to mess up my wrist if I keep playing this way, or this is why this hurts so much. Like, those are the things that I wish I knew, to be like, oh, well, now this is how I make this chord upside down and inverted, and it's why I can never switch from this chord to this chord, because my brain has closed off that
from
door.
This chord to Discord.
That's right. Oh, that's how we teach you.
I would always put my pinky behind the neck for some reason, as if I didn't need it.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's like, don't do that. Don't do that.
You can learn to play. I'm not saying that's wrong. Putting the pinky behind, or I always wrap my thumb around and never support my fingers on the back of the neck with my thumb.
Well, you got those big bear claws.
I've got those gigantic bear claws. Speaking of buying that watch, turns out I've got ridiculously sized wrists that I cannot wear human watches. So never noticed it before. Until
is it's just glued to your wrist? Is the face just glued to your wrist?
I don't know if you could. It just doesn't.
Oh,
work
look at that
for
thing
me.
holding on to your life.
I had to get a different band that just had one more flap on the thing. It's just like, I didn't realize it.
Got those big old wrists.
And I went to my wife and I was like, I didn't. Like, watches, I could generally get the fit on my arm. She's like, no, you have like horse wrists.
We need to. Everything in this house is designed specifically for your wrists. You didn't realize it.
You didn't realize we've scaled everything forever. The only times I ever notice is when you get like wristbands at things, and they would put it on, and they'd be like, "Huh." Just like, we'll just put a little extra tape on
I guess
there.
we just attached two.
How do you feel about Scotch tape? Anyway, Mike, I'd say go online and try and find some stuff. I think if you can learn the chords, you can have some fun.
Yes,
get a chord book and try not to learn some bad habits. Enjoy yourself, and free guitar. That's how it starts. And then all of a sudden you're like getting amps and all sorts of things.
How many guitars you got in the house, Vin? Did you have like a bunch on a wall? I saw
Yeah,
one of your houses?
seven or eight.
Damn.
7, 6.
I got a buddy who builds guitars.
That's
used to have his
fun.
own line, and I think like Everclear was his client for a while.
Really?
Oh, you got that
Really?
Art Alexakis money coming in. That's what he's saying.
I don't know if that's paying all the bills, but yeah, you know.
I did the thing where I was like, oh man, it'll be awesome when the kids are born. I'm going to buy them a guitar, and then they're going to be able to, I think I talked about this. They're going to look back, and 40 years from now, they're going to be like, oh man, I got a 2012 Les Paul. That's sweet. Like if I had like a 1978 Les Paul, I'd be psyched, right? And then regardless of if the kids ever want to play guitar, I bought them for me. I bought them so I could have. I was like, man, I really would love a Les Paul, like a genuine Les Paul, and I could never justify buying myself one. So let's get a Les Paul and a Telecaster and put them on the wall, and then tell them, we'll say it's for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I still couldn't get I got the Les Paul. I think it was I still couldn't afford the studio or the like proper Les Paul. That's just still too expensive for me. Guitars can be very expensive.
Yes.
Oh, groundbreaking.
Instruments can be very expensive.
Every year I look at
shit costs money. Good shit costs money.
Every year I look at a Martin or a Taylor, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't. That's a $3,000 plus $3,000 guitar.
That's a lot. But you know what?
Yeah.
I think you should buy it. I think you should buy it. It's gonna make you happy.
Nah,
make you happy.
Maybe it'll make me happy. Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
I think I'm gonna
for
ask
somebody who
my
doesn't
friend,
make money playing guitar. That's a lot of money on a hobby.
I'm gonna ask my buddy to make. I'm gonna pay him to make me one. I think.
Yeah.
You want to do that? We get like a 2-for-1 deal or something like that?
I'm sure that's pretty cheap. That's probably inexpensive.
So, oh man, I gotta show you photos next time I'm in that.
I have a buddy who made custom amps. We got them together. We're going. We're doing it.
I need a pedal guy, and we're all done.
That's right. That's right. No, the amp and the guitar sound so good out of the. They don't even need a pedal.
As long as it's got fucking ska mode.
That's right.
Sign me up.
You just turn the guitar upside down. It's ska mode. Let's get to the next
The
email.
grill just goes checkerboard.
Yeah, that's right.
And you
go
set.
checkerboard.
Yeah.
All right, Bacalar, why don't you take this one from Adam?
Sure. Adam says, do you refrigerate ketchup?
Yes, move on.
I know people who keep it in the refrigerator and others who keep it in the pantry. Ketchup at restaurants is stored at room temperature for who knows how long, despite the bottle stating to refrigerate after opening. Also, cold ketchup is way worse. Who wants cold ketchup on hot food? So what are your thoughts on this contentious issue? I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Here's the deal.
What's the deal?
You're right. Cold ketchup sucks. It is a nuisance. Nobody who wants like straight out of the fryer.
Hot dog.
You know, whatever. No, not that.
I've literally never had an issue. And then
like cold ketchup on the
never had an
fries?
issue.
Get out of here, man.
I mean, look, I don't care if it's room temperature or cold. I keep the ketchup in the fridge. If you know we want it warm, we'll just leave it out for a little bit and let it get to room temperature. That's fine. It's not a big deal. But you keep the ketchup in the goddamn fridge.
Once you open the ketchup, it goes in the fridge. Unopened ketchup can stay.
Unopened is different.
I do it too.
Okay, there we go.
But Mike's point, Adam's point, is that restaurants, they keep those squeezy bottles wherever, for days.
Yeah, but they're also going
weeks.
through a bottle in probably like a day or two.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think
so you're saying by the time you've gotten that ketchup, it's just cooled, it's just warmed.
Yeah, I think so.
Room temperature.
Yeah, they opened up the restaurant, they put all that shit out there, and then by the time people actually start coming in there, it's warmed up.
All right, explain ketchup packets to me. I guess it's just like a new bottle. Is that the deal?
No, ketchup packet. Yeah, I think it's unopened.
Yeah. They're like it's sealed. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. I haven't worked in a restaurant in a long time, or in a place of food in a long time, but I want to say we used to just refill the bottles that were there from ketchup in the fridge.
Sure,
that makes sense.
You're not just popping a new thing. All right, yes,
but we can all agree like room temperature ketchup is a better ketchup than cold ketchup.
I think I don't care personally, but I can see the argument.
You guys
do you keep your mustard in the fridge?
Yes.
Yeah, but
same
like
deal, right?
I'm
Once
not,
open.
I'm not happy about that either. Like if I love yellow mustard on a hot dog,
Yeah.
and if that mustard's cold, I'm just like, well, this hot dog could have been better. You know, I let things warm up. I let things sit out for a little bit.
Do you keep your maple syrup or if you have maple syrup for pancakes or something, do you keep your syrup
out of the fridge?
Always out of the fridge.
I keep it in the fridge.
Even though it says to keep it in, I keep it out. I'm like, this is just fucking sugar. Like, what's gonna happen?
Peanut butter?
Out.
Alex? In.
All things go in the fridge. All things go in the fridge. I don't think
peanut butter needs to be refrigerated.
Okay. Bread? Sliced bread.
Okay, I put that in the fridge to make it last longer.
I only do that if it's been a couple of if like the bread has been opened for a few days and we know we need it to keep, but like we also try to get through a loaf of bread in a week so that we don't have to do that.
I love bread. I love bread so much. I know.
Wow, controversial statement.
Yeah.
No, but like the fresh baked Italian bakery stuff is just like unfreaking believable. But you get like a good sesame roll from like an Italian place fresh out of the oven. It's only going to last maybe 2 to 3 days before it starts getting a little funky. So I'll check on it once an hour for a day and just be like, you okay? All right. And then the second I think I've pushed my luck in the fridge, that thing goes. But,
All right. Well, that does it for this week's segment of Fridge or Not.
I'm hungry.
Bacalar, we got this one. Why don't you take another one here? It's just some recommendations. I could just read them off to you.
Sure.
Yeah, we got recommendations here. This one comes from Brent. For games, we covered some of this before in a previous segment. You mentioned, this is Brent, you mentioned missing a true sense of exploration and adventure. This is different than your multiplayer stuff. I absolutely love games that nail that in 2021 when so much was over-explained, tutorialized, or on the rails. Here are a few titles that are amazing at a true natural sense of exploration, games that teach you via world design or let you figure it out. Brent has a little list here. It says Outer Wilds. First
I played Outer Wilds, yes.
Great game. Disco Elysium, Subnautica.
I'm gonna start that. I played Subnautica.
Firewatch.
Played it.
Hyperlight Drifter.
Played it.
Fez.
Got it.
Okay. All right.
No more recommendations for you.
Thanks, Brent.
Okay. Alex Navarro, you want to take this one from Blake?
Sure. Blake says, hey, Beast Crew. When you save a game, would you prefer it to show you the time played in hours and minutes or the date and time that the save occurred? Let's assume that you can only have one of the two, because that was going to be my follow-up is why not both? Why not both? Why not both?
It's such a strange choice to have.
I love this question, though. It's I feel like it's something that goes overlooked a lot.
Time played in hours and minutes.
Time played.
Yes, 100%.
To me, that's more valuable.
It is. Okay. No, but okay. Now,
like I can do the math necessary to figure out which is my most recent save based on that.
There's other things you can, look up. Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. So you just look for the most time played, and you're good.
Yes.
Okay.
Presumably that is my most recent save.
I'll buy that. I was a little on the fence on this, but I think you've pushed me over into time played versus date of save. Okay.
Glad I could take you along this journey with me.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. I'm there. Okay. Jeff, why don't you take this one from Kyle? Kyle.
Hello. Lucy brought up a point that helped contextualize my feelings in last week's Beastcast. I have a decent PC with Game Pass being my only way to currently access those games. I don't have an Xbox, but I find myself preferring to play my games on my PS5 or Switch due to the fact that I sit at my PC all day for work and would rather avoid it in my free time. Bought Cyber Shadow on Switch, but could have had it on PC Game Pass for free, among other games. You find yourselves in this position. No, I would rather play games on PC when I can. Okay. Just because I have a very
capable
good PC and I want to play it there first. But I guess this goes into the conversation we were having at the top of the show, where there is this inconsistency across PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass. I understand, like, look, for me, if I'm getting the game free on Game Pass, that's where I'm going to play it. I guess I understand not wanting to sit at your PC all day, but
I mean, look, like when Mundawn came out, we have that on our Epic account, as part of like media stuff, and I was like, I kind of want to play this on my TV, because the thing is, I have these consoles, I have a really nice TV, and I'm also sitting in here 8 hours a day. I'm in the exact same position Kyle is, where like, yes, I have a very good PC and it will play all these games great, but what if I went in the other room that is not this one and played on my TV? What if I did that instead? And I ended up moving back to PC on Mundon because that build was not the best at launch. It was a little chuggy in a way that the PC version was not. But I have found myself repeatedly leaning toward consoles, specifically just because, one, I want to make use of the hardware, and two, I want to get the fuck out of this room if I don't have to be here.
I'm with you. I've started feeling that way as well. I'd add one third one there, which is the TV I have upstairs with my consoles is a nicer TV that supports HDR. So there are some games that it's like, oh, if I play this on the console, I'll get it in 4K. You know, it's 4K HDR on that TV that supports 4K. My monitors here don't do 4K. And so it might be a nicer looking experience. That being said, I also have the Steam Link hooked up there, so I will also play some PC stuff through the Steam Link if it works. I still think that Steam controller is great. I play a lot of stuff up there, and it's fine playing 1080 stuff on the Steam Link for me most of the time. But there are some things I'll come downstairs and back in the old sewer basement to go play. But I got tired of being down here. I'm down here 10 hours a day doing this stuff. I've got my other hobbies down here, and it's even affected some of that. Like, I just don't want to go down.
Oh, that's interesting.
Backlar, when are they going to fix that? When is the PC HDR shit going to become like actually viable on a widespread scale? Because this is bumming me out.
I mean, I don't know. I
know there are things that support it, but there aren't very many.
I think more and more games are.
I'm talking about more like the hardware side of things. Like there aren't a lot of like good monitors that support it.
So
that aren't super expensive.
I was able to get a new monitor through work, and this one does have HDR, and it's not as noticeable when you compare it to the HDR experience on, like an OLED like we have. But I think it's getting better. It's just not really a priority.
Really isn't. I don't know why.
It's just not a priority. I don't know.
I guess people just are using TVs for PC monitors. Like you could also just do that at this point.
Yeah, you totally could.
Because there's G-Sync, or that was like last CES, right? Like G-Sync and FreeSync coming to.
And some of those TVs do 120 hertz now, right?
Yeah. Yes, the one behind me is G-Sync and 120 hertz. So it's fine. Again, if you want it sitting down in a smaller form factor, you have plenty of options now. I think.
Okay.
I do think there is.
I feel like there's a convergence happening
stuff
where
out there.
People are using just TV monitors for their PC, and also there are form factors of PCs that are, more compatible with living room setups that people are just putting PCs in there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read this last one here from Andy. Now, you remember Andy. Andy, Alex, you may not remember Andy. Andy was with his wife of 14 years, I believe at a fair or street fair, and caught her having a conversation in Spanish, and he said, "I did not know you speak fluent Spanish." And she was like, "Huh, must have just never came up."
You said 14 years, right?
14 years, yeah.
That seems like something that would come up eventually, but okay.
Guess it just never came up. So we have a slight, we have a follow-up here from Andy. Andy says...
Oh my God. I didn't read this ahead of time, so I'm very excited.
Andy says, so an update for everyone on my quote Spanish speaking. I should mention also his wife.
This isn't going to end with him getting divorced, right? I don't want that.
Key to the story. The wrinkle in the story was his wife spoke fluent Italian. So we got a lot of emails that are like, well, Italian, romance languages, Italian and Spanish. It could have been.
They're cut from.
I mean, they're of a kind.
And of which, as somebody who has been around a lot of Italian speaking people, like they're similar.
How? I don't get it.
Yeah, I grew up in New York. And it's like they're similar, but there's a difference. So an update for everyone on my Spanish speaking wife. She is a genius prankster. Backstory. A few weeks ago, I did an impromptu magic trick on my wife, a silly sleight of hand gag that she could not figure out. She asked how I did it, and I told her I still have some secrets after 14 years. She wanted to get me back and concocted her plan. She got in touch with an old friend of hers and had her teach her some Spanish. Cut to us going to the market where she met up with her friend and started speaking Spanish with her. You know the rest. She didn't know I would write an email about it and is sorry, but she found it hilarious that I fell for it. So hilarious. So hilarious prankster or evil genius.
Evil genius.
Andy, it is confirmed. Your wife is actually an international spy. I'm not going to believe your cover story. she's really mad. I'm sorry you blew her cover. This is a prank. We did a prank thing, and you wrote an email to the Beastcast?
That's chapter 3, Vinny. We'll get there when we get there. But oh my God, Andy, your wife's amazing because not only did she get you so damn good,
good.
But now it's like multiplied by a factor of 1,000 because it spread to this platform and we're all talking about it. You got Andy, but in the best possible way, because if my significant other went to those lengths to get me on a gag, this is why it works, you two. This is why it works, you two. Keep it going.
That's why it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So, oh my God, how funny is that?
Muy bueno.
You wrote an email about this?
Oh snap! I really got you good, didn't I? It was at that point.
It was a prank. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Confetti came out.
These are the kinds of pranks, though. Like, these are the kinds of pranks I fully support because they are not harmful. They are not damaging.
Yes,
it is literally just, it is a silly little trick that just kind of makes you feel like, oh, all right, I got. Okay, whatever.
I also love the levels of difference here of like, because I could see me being Andy being like, look, it disappeared. Be like, how'd you do it? It's goofy. I'm not gonna tell you. It's goofy. And then the level of complexity of the setup for this other thing, which is just like, no, your whole life is a lie. Your name isn't even Andy. I'm not your wife. It's been a 14-year setup. Like, wait, what? Yeah. No. It's like
she like
I fucking got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm not even married to you. Those kids are actors. Goodbye.
Right?
Never fuck with me again. Never fuck with me again.
She goes up to the car, pushes it over. It's just a cardboard cutout. Like everything's just like, she's like, that's it.
Oh, you got me.
So good.
You got me. And then she walked away and she does, hey, your life is gone. The same trick. It's gone.
Dude, the funniest thing too is like, he goes into the backstory. He's like, well, I did do this seemingly harmless sleight of hand trick. And so good.
I guess you got me. I guess you got me. All right. We're gonna end it there. What a great story.
What a great story, Andy. Thank you. We're
gonna end it there. Alex, you missed some stuff about the Snyder Cut, but it was great.
Wait, but also your move, Andy.
What did I have to say about the Snyder Cut?
Your move. No, Andy crumples into a pile after that.
Okay. I give up.
I'm done. Kaiser Soze. We're gonna end it there. I'm gonna hit the music. Alex, thanks so much. Glad you're feeling better.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Good luck on your vaccination, sir.
No, thank you very much. There we go. That's the end stinger there. Folks, Jeff Acklar and folks, how are you?
Feel like we covered this at the top of the show.
How are you?
That was like 2 hours ago.
Still
no one remembers.
Doing all right.
You good? Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Everything's good.
Love
Everything's
to hear. Anything
all right.
going up on CNET you wish to mention?
Nope.
Speak now or forever hold your content.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
I am gonna do Saturday. I'm planning to do a keyboard build.
Okay.
So come join me.
Where?
That'll be fun on Twitch.
Okay. Alex, are you drumming tonight?
I am.
If you're watching this live, go catch Alex at giantbomb/chat for some drumming.
Round 6.
Round 6. I don't know what the current state.
I think there might be a stream happening after this.
Okay, thank you. So if you're watching this live, we're gonna probably close this chat room up, start a new one. You can go catch some Outriders, I believe. Thanks everybody for listening. Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Remember, stay safe out there. Be nice to each other.
Get your vaccinations.
We'll all figure this out. You're listening to Giant Beastcast. See ya.